you for
live. So
making
go ahead and hit
brilliant.
start. And at any point, you've got all your buttons. And remember, when he shares his screen, hit that to go full screen with him.
Okay, and then if this runs out, I can still keep going.
Oh, yeah.
Good. Okay, super. Well, I hope it goes well tonight.
You want the fan on?
Yes, I love the fan. Oh my God, that's my favorite thing in the whole world is the fan. But yeah, so we will share the two. Oh, that feels so good. We'll share the guides when because we have to. This is more important right now to do this. So, do I need my computer? Yes, I do. Yes, I do need my computer because then I can follow along, right? Okay, and then when you're ready, then I'll just have you on the. Oh, I have to start my show, and then I'll come back in just a second. I'm just going to hit this for like a minute. You'll hear some music or not, and then when we come back, then I'll just say hello to you. Just be one sec. Good evening. It's Sue. Nice to be with you here tonight. I have a very special show with my extraordinarily kind and unbelievably gifted wizard of a friend. Oh my God, his name is David Scarborough. He's my favorite human. And thank you and welcome, Dave. At
Hi,
least
Sue.
you can tell I appreciate you, right? That's a little bit of appreciation for you because you're my hero. You're my hero. Blessed you are. So we're going to talk about getting started with Claude Cowork. And we're going to be uploading the document as kind of like a show note so people can download it and all that. But just follow along because he's going to kind of like just go through kind of like a real-time demonstration, I guess, of how people can build themselves a nice AI agent. And we can use Claude Cowork. It does a lot of really good things that will come in handy. And, but yeah, really glad to have you here, David. How are you doing this evening?
I'm fine. I'm glad to be here.
Thank
It's
you.
exciting.
It's exciting. It is. Yes. Thank you.
Yeah.
It's
Fun
like,
to talk about AI.
we
I
love
was
to
on the
talk
computer most of the day building an app, and I'll show it to you later on in the
because
program.
every almost day, like for sure every week, you get an amazing idea for an app and it actually helps people. And so
Yeah,
I call you the ideas man because you keep getting like amazing ideas. But these are things that people need in their everyday lives. Because about 3 weeks ago, I was like, I always need a transcript because I have to communicate with my bot what this video is about on YouTube. And I'm like, I don't really have time to like, do a summary or transcribe for him. And then Dave's like, oh, I have a skill for that. I have an app for that. I can help you. And you just put in the link and like it's amazing. Like in minutes, it's like the whole transcript. And our bots are so quick that they understand it. Kind of like
yeah.
a few moments after we upload it, they're already like, oh, got it. That's phenomenal, right? And you're like, it would take me an hour and a half to watch that. What are you talking about?
Yeah, exactly. And then you can use it to do a whole host of things.
Completely.
I use it, I transcribe it, and then I talk to Claude with it and ask, what do you think of this? Or where could we go with this? What could we use this for? And, it'll come back with all sorts of ideas. And oh,
That
that
is
sounds good. Yeah, I
that
like
is
that. Let's
amazing. I
do
know, and
that.
like they really have personalities, don't they, Dave? Like they really have this kind of nice nature
Yeah.
about them. Like they're not going to be like, "What were you thinking?" No, that's never going to work. Like, no, they're like,
But I was on a call today with a group of guys, and he was inside his co-work, and it kept coming back saying, "Oh yeah, that's really a good idea. I like that." And it's that yes man syndrome,
right,
right? You don't,
right.
they're always there to try to please you, and you don't necessarily want that all the time. And in fact, I built a skill that has a board of directors, so to speak. They're counselors that actually look at content that you put together, and each one will look at it from a different perspective. And then the chairman of the board collects all their information together and then comes up with a consensus on what they evaluate the content is. So you're not just getting that same, AI, yes, that's a great idea. Let's do this, or let's go this way. It pushes back a little bit.
That's
And
amazing.
that's what you really need to do. So if you ever have any content that you want to make sure that you go deep with and just don't get a yes, that's a great idea answer, you just load this skill, let it take the content, and then it'll give you the output. It's pretty cool.
Wow.
In
So it
fact, I
it's not like they're
we'll
your
have to
board of.
see if we can find that.
That's
Um,
amazing because it's true. Like I think you can say like upload something and then go fix this or you know what I mean? Like we can say things that we don't think we can say because we don't usually have someone that we can talk to like that. But you could be like, tell me 10 reasons why this wouldn't work or
yeah,
whatever. Like they're going to respond whatever we ask them to do, right? And so,
exactly.
like literally fix this. If you have an agent like this, they might be able to actually go into the code and like I
Oh, they do
you
all the time.
you know what they do, right? You know.
Yeah, I was doing that today. I was coding and they were looking at the code and saying, "Oh, we got to go do this or we got to do this. Here, use this prompt." And then I used that prompt and I put it into Lovable, which was
No.
building the app for me. And I'll show you the app later on. It's pretty cool.
That's amazing.
Um,
I know. If you want to
but
come on my show like at least once a month just to show me what you like find interesting, oh my God, like this is
yeah,
amazing. Yeah. Like I have
it is fun stuff.
we have like an AI at work kind of hashtag AI at work. And they have like weekly, half hour, how to use this in your job, that kind of thing, just basic things. And so I was thinking about maybe we could submit like our show to them just to let them know that, like, you know what, this is possible, that, like, let's like build this into our work because it's mortgage appraisal services. It's all paperwork and data and, and the same kinds of reports and the same kinds of spreadsheets, the same kinds of things, right? You're just plugging in people's individual things, and you can't put in, of course, people's personal data. But I was thinking, like, it'd be great if, like, even if we just showed them what's possible, and then their job is compliance and all that stuff, right? That's their job.
Right.
But
Yeah,
it's
you have to put guardrails up to ensure sensitive
definitely
information is protected. But if there is something that is a task that is repeated over
yeah,
and over and over, and it's just very laborious, you're having to do the same thing over and
right,
over, that's where AI can really help. It can set that automation up where you provide an input, it'll provide an output, and it can do it in 1/100th of a second
it's incredible.
compared to what it takes an hour for us to do or whatever. So that's an exaggeration, but they are 1,000 times smarter than we are. You just have to know how to ask the right question, right?
Yeah,
That's the whole key right there. If you learn how to talk to the agent, if you learn how to ask the right question, and that's part of what we're going to be talking about today, because most of us grew up, over the last couple of years using ChatGPT and just talking to it, right? And here's what happens. You go in, you ask it a question, it comes back with an answer, done, over with.
right. Then you
It
go
doesn't have
out
a
and
memory.
yeah,
It doesn't store that stuff. Now
no,
you can continue in the same chat and you can pick up where you left off, but even that has a lot of limitations to it as well, especially using tokens and running out of them because your chat has gotten so long. But the point is, it's sort of like a vending machine. I give it my
info.
prompt,
Yeah,
I give it my quarter, my dollar,
right,
or whatever, and I
right.
get back something in return. That's sort of what ChatGPT, Claude, Gemini, Perplexity, they're all doing the same thing. They're just, you give it a prompt, it gives you an answer back. And
Yeah,
and that's the end of it. It's that one-sided transaction.
right.
You give one,
It's like
get one.
limited, right?
And
Like it's just one
yeah,
lane.
it's very limited. And that's what we're going to talk about, utilizing cowork, because you're going to put cowork on your computer. And now that you have it on your computer, you can then allow cowork to access your files. Now we can start training cowork to, if you want to do a specific task, you can go tell it to read a file first. It'll get all the information it needs
Oh,
to conduct that, skill or whatever it is you're
it's
trying to do.
like
For
training
example,
like an SOP for an employee. Like you're
there,
training it.
exactly. You take the skill that you're training it with, and let's say I'm going to write some content. So I have trained it in my what I call my voice DNA. So it knows everything there is to know about me. It
Amazing.
knows the words I don't want to use.
Wow.
It knows uh,
Like your
how I want to
style, your
converse with people, my
yeah.
style, my temperament. It knows all that stuff about me. In fact, it took me 4 days to build this voice DNA. I did
That's
an
a lot.
interview
That's a
where I
lot.
answered 100 questions in detail. It would
Wow.
ask me the question, I would answer it. We would then go back and forth about it. And then he said, okay, I've got this one filed. Next question. We did that for four
Wow.
days.
So
I was
smart.
spending a couple hours each
So
day
smart.
doing it.
Isn't
And
it
we
so
finally got the whole thing built.
you're investing.
Yeah. So now when I want to write something that is in my voice,
Exactly.
I just tell it to go get that. And it reads it and it knows exactly who David is, where David's been, all of David's experiences.
Wow.
It knows a lot about me personally, business, and
Yeah.
everything
Like
else. So it can put all of that into the content it builds for me. And that's a really neat capability. So that's what you get when you operate within Claude Core, because you can put
Claude
that in a
cowork.
file on your computer. Claude goes and reads that file. Claude then comes back and says, I'm ready, David, give me the content. Let's talk about what you want to do. And we start doing it. And
Because
then
now
it
that
produces much, much better material than it is that one-off exchange, right? You give it a prompt.
definitely
We're
have
not
you
prompting anymore. We're skills. We're utilizing skills. And I'll talk more about what a skill is and how it operates.
because it's a very specific thing. A skill .md is a very specific thing, right?
Correct. An
Memory
empty is just a
.md.
markdown file. Yeah, it's just a markdown file. It's a text file with a certain protocol that it uses to write. And it's real easy for the machine to read it, as opposed to, when you read a Word document, it's got all the
Oh
flowery stuff
yeah.
behind the scenes and it's
Right.
got, all that is stripped out in a markdown file. It's just the data. And so it reads that data very quick. It can know exactly what it is, and then it can act on it in a very way. So when I build a skill, that skill gives the instruction to the AI, and
Mm-hmm.
then the AI follows those instructions with all of the parameters that I have given it inside the skill. And when I build a skill, I have 23, we'll say, gates that it has to go through and pass.
For
So
each skill,
for each
each.
skill. So I have a skill builder that
Yes.
builds the skill based on those 23 gates
Okay.
and some other instructions that I have given it. Then once it does that, it then goes into another skill that I built
Okay.
called a skill auditor. So the auditor takes the skill that I just built and ensures that it passes again all of those 23 gates, and that it passes what I call my A plus criteria. So when I put out a skill, it has to meet a very high
It
standard,
really
and
does.
all the protocols set by the industry of a skill, so that the skill will work across all the LLMs.
Right.
It is not just built for Claude. It
Oh,
can
I never
work
thought
in
about that.
any.
I never thought about that. But you're right.
So
You've
it's
had to put so much into, in a sense, the scaffolding for what you've been building because you're being
exactly.
so so what's the word deliberate
Well, you're following
about
a
you know
protocol. You're
yeah
following
yeah you're
checklist
so high
protocols
level.
that so you get the same output every time.
Exactly.
It's when you're prompting with ChatGPT or Claude or Gemini,
Yeah.
you put the prompt in. You can put the same prompt in 4 times, you'll get a different answer every time because it'll look at it differently, and it'll come back and the output won't be the same. And I've done that. We all have done that multiple times when we first started using the just the chatbot. Just talking back and forth with it. So what you want to do is get a consistent output. You want something that is going to be the same every time you put it in. It's not
Okay.
going to change on you. And
Right.
so that's the purpose of that skill. You give it those instructions so that it gives you the output that you expect, and it does it in a very specific way.
Like in a
And if it goes
predictable
off
kind of.
rails,
Yeah.
you can say, hey, go back and read the skill, get the
And then it's
instructions
like,
right,
oh,
and
okay.
and then it'll come back.
It comes back and
So
does a better job, right? Yeah, that's
that's
amazing.
that's
That's
that's the significance of taking Claude, putting it on your desktop, utilizing it with the skills and the connectivity. You can connect skills to the work you want to do. So you could build an email skill that would go out and look at your Google Gmail and then come back and report on it for any given purpose you want.
right. Because I was thinking, like just the amount of space that like old files, like like say promotions, in Gmail promotions, like those are all just like marketing, right? Just and if you
Yeah,
really cared about a coupon, you would have gotten it already. So I was thinking, isn't that such an easy way? Go through all promotions for the last 5 years and just get rid of it because they're all like time based, right? And they're all things that aren't important to me. And then social, like, if you're like, okay, well, I've got this app or whatever it is, you can get rid of a lot of social. And then you're down to just your primary. And then you can say, like, in a way, like this label, it was something I was interested in 3 years ago. It doesn't matter anymore. You can get rid of that label with all the stuff in it, right? And I was thinking that
exactly.
like I backed up my both the Max 2 Time Machine, and I thought what a nice way to start clean for today, because things can take up a lot of space, right? And
Right.
so it's nice to have a clear deck if you're going to build something interesting, right?
Exactly. And being organized and having it in so that you can find it, right?
Oh God,
Yeah,
yes.
I always I put something somewhere so I won't lose it. But I forget where I put it, right?
Where
I
was the
mean that
secret
happens.
place? I
Yeah,
know.
where's the secret place,
Where's the secret
So
place?
where did I put that? I knew where it was when I put it there. Now I can't find it.
Absolutely. And you know what's
So
funny is when you actually find that thing, then and you're
you
going to
go,
put it away again, then take it to the first place you looked and leave it there because you're
yeah.
going to remember the first place you looked because there was a
That's
reason. So
there
put
was a
it that
reason
of
for
all
it.
the
Yeah,
places, put it in that first place you looked for it, and then it'll be there for the next time because you'll be
yeah,
like,
good idea.
well, this
Yeah,
is what
I
I was
hadn't thought
thinking,
about
right?
that.
So you're
Because
trying
it's
to
always the last place you look, right?
because you stop looking. Exactly. But yeah, I was thinking like I could give a Claude bot like access to my Google Drive and then all
Yep.
of the like things that used to matter 10 years ago or like a job I had that doesn't matter anymore. Like you could really declutter.
Yeah, you could train the bot to go in there, train the agent to go in there and look at everything and categorize it for you, put it all in a logical order and sequence and that sort of thing, and then report back to you where it found everything and where it put everything. And that way, because a lot of times I'll get something in a Google Drive and I'll just make a copy of it and it's just in there, right?
Yeah,
And then I go in there and I go, oh my gosh, I got this stuff all over the place. Now I got to drag and drop it, So having a skill that goes in and manages your Google Drive to
that's
put
massive.
everything in there and keep it clean, that works really
That's
good.
incredible. So yeah, I definitely want to know how to do those things. I want to know how to go back in time with email to, use an agent and then also how to go into like a Google Drive. But I guess for the same, like an iCloud Drive, are they able to, if you gave them access, would they be able to organize iCloud files? in like your MacBook?
Yeah, I think they could, but you got to be careful with that. There could be a lot of sensitive information on your iCloud. So again, you would have to put the guardrails up to ensure that it can only access certain things.
Okay.
Um, yeah, I think that's the most like for example, I was building this app yesterday and today. And one of the things I put in it was to download some documents, the capability of putting documents into it. And as I was thinking about some of the documents that I thought would be a good fit inside of it, I thought, oh, these are sensitive
Right.
documents. Even though I have them encrypted, meaning that when you put it in and it goes into the database, it's encrypted, it's still
It's
it's
in
still a
there.
database and it's
Yeah.
still there. And I can't guarantee without, really bolting on a military encryption style type
Right.
vault so that nobody can access it without going into a lot of work. So I thought, no, we don't need to do that. So what I decided to do was just put the information about where that document is.
Smart.
So I'm talking about
Smart.
deeds and titles and
Yeah.
trusts and things like that.
Yeah,
So
those
a
things are
deed to a
super
piece of property.
super sensitive.
And
Yeah. Yeah. And you don't
yeah,
want
you
the
could just
wrong
say,
person to get a hold of that. So cuz you know what I mean? People could use things against you if 5 years in the future,
exactly.
who knows what people can do, right? To get into
Yeah,
things. So it's better to
yeah.
not even put it in, but to have like a guide map, like a treasure map. This is where it is.
Yeah, well, it just says it's in the house safe, right? Or it's in our bank's security deposit box. Yeah, at least now you know where it
You
is
know,
and you
yeah.
could
And then it
reference
just
it.
takes 2 seconds to go get it because you're not looking for it and you're not stressing about, like, oh God, I have to look for this
Where did
thing. And
I
you're
put
worried
it?
about it for like a
Yeah,
month. Like, I don't want to go look for that thing. You just go get it. Done. That's it. Right. So I was
exactly.
thinking, yeah, like we'll definitely share the guide because then people can follow along. You can kind of like just listen for now, just watch, and then you can, if you wanted to sort of like set it up yourself, then you've got a guide step by step, right? You really did a great job to create a guide.
Yeah,
Really
if
appreciate that.
anybody's on the call with us tonight, they can
Hmm.
certainly go through and follow through with what I'm doing, and
Yeah,
they could get it set up exactly. If not, the guide will walk them through. It's
exactly. At another
really, really
time.
simple.
That's
What
awesome.
we what what we want to do is come back and do additional courses
Definitely.
on, okay, once we got it on your computer, once we're
Then,
accessing it, once you
yeah,
know where things are,
yeah,
now let's start putting it to work. Let's start
exactly.
building some skills.
We can
Let's
have
start
different themes.
connecting.
Yeah, exactly. And you can decide the order. You can decide like what you think people would might find important. But it's just like this is very much like it's just such a generous and kind thing of you to think of others like this because people charge a lot of money to create agents and things like that. And I just think you're an extraordinary human being. You're so generous. Like I'm awed by you. I really am. Like that's how I feel about you. You're just such a
Thank you.
sweet, dear,
Uh,
like human
so,
being.
so you want me to share my screen?
Yep, I do.
Okay, so I'm going to share this one. And this is the one that we're talking on. So I'm going to share that one.
So if I wanted to
And
actually start from kind of zero, because I might as well, like I could do this, alongside
yeah,
you,
yeah, just
then
start from zero. That's easy enough. We'll
okay.
give a little preamble here about what we've talked a lot about it already, but we'll
Sure,
talk
but
a
you
little
can
bit more
introduce
about why
what
we
we're
want to
doing.
do
Yeah,
this.
absolutely.
So everyone should have access to this little checklist, this little criteria that I built a
Exactly.
guide that'll help you get started.
Right.
And you'll see right here, I said, stop using AI as a vending machine, start working with it as an assistant.
So smart.
I look at the AI as my most incredible employee that I've ever had. I
Completely.
mean, for them to, I have tried to build things in the past and it took forever. I was months and months trying to build something and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of dollars and, back and forth, hours and hours every day. and never got what I really wanted. Now today, within a few hours, I'm usually getting exactly what I want. And
And it works.
so, oh, and it works. It's incredible. And they're beautiful too. They're absolutely beautiful. And again, I'll show you that here in a minute. But let's go through here.
Where do we
I'll
start
give
too?
you,
You can kind of, yeah, go ahead. That's great. This is good. Like an
yeah,
agenda. Yeah.
we're going to talk about the five W's and the H. What co-work actually is, why we want to use it in the way. We've talked a little bit about that, but we'll talk a little more about that. And
Yeah.
then I'll talk about how we install it. And then we'll set up a few folders
Yeah.
and how you can get access to it. And then we'll talk a little bit about skills and connectors. And then we'll do a little live presentation on something.
Very
And
good.
then if you have any questions or whatever, we can answer them.
Sure. This is great.
So here's what you have to have. You're going to have to go and have Claude on your desktop. So you're going to have to go to claude.com /download. I'll show that here in a second. And you're going to have to download it for your machine. So if you're using a Mac, you download it for a Mac. If you're on a Windows, you'll download it for Windows. And then just go through the process of putting that app on your computer.
Yeah. Okay.
And I'll show you mine here in a second. So here's mine. I'm just going to pop it up.
Okay.
Here's my computer. This is my work station, my canvas, my desktop of
Okay.
Claude, and everything that I can do in here.
Okay.
So
And I'm going to come right. I'm going to come right. I'm just going to make sure that we can see everything. I just got.
but I'm going to close this out for a second, and we're going to do a couple other things. So let's talk about the five W's, because I think this is important. It's to get your head in the right mindset and to understand what it is, the power behind utilizing the capabilities of AI is truly in having this co-work, having an agent helping you do virtually anything you wanted to do for you. So Claude Co-work is a desktop application from Anthropic. They're the company behind Claude AI. And it's not a chat bot in a browser tab, which if you just go to Claude, that's all you get. You're in the chat mode with it. We're now going to have it sitting on our computer, and we're going to be in the real working mode, utilizing Cowork. And Cowork has a partner called Code, which will, if you're a coder and you like building things and building apps and agents and all sorts of stuff, that's another side of the Claude family that you can access and build with. So that is together a very, very important feature of all of this and why you want to have it access to it sitting on your computer. So the chatbot versus cowork side by side. So if if I want to analyze a spreadsheet, if I'm a browser chatbot, I'll upload the CSV, ask a copy and answer, and I'll get some information back. But if I'm in cowork, I can point to a folder where this actual document is, ask Claude to go get it, and then bring that into the workstation, do whatever it is I want to do with it, and then file it back where it was before. I'm not sitting there copying and pasting and that sort of thing. So I'm getting an assistant to help me do a lot of the heavy lifting that you would normally be doing if you were doing it just on a chat bot. So who is co-work for? Anyone that who does knowledge work on a computer. If you're using your computer to do tasks that you want help with, then having access to cowork is a great way to start. It is so much better than just chatting with it because you'll be able to get so much more.
Right.
And when we're talking about who, I mean virtually anybody. I mean, if you want to sit down and figure out or plan a meal or build a house or build a shed in your backyard and you want to
Wow.
know what it's going to take and materials and who you're going to hire, you can use Claude Cowork to do all of that for you.
Wow. So co-work is almost like an agent.
It is your AI assistant
Okay. Okay.
sitting
Yeah.
on your computer to do whatever you want it to do for you.
So it's already
It's
in a
your
sense
bet.
it's already formed in a sense, right? But you can like tweak
Oh,
it. You can.
absolutely.
Okay, cool. Wow, that's amazing.
And and it's really, really smart.
Oh
And
my
it's got a whole
God.
bunch of stuff in the way of productivity and work that you can just make a click and upload it and it's ready to go.
Oh
So
my
where does it
God.
run? It runs on your desktop.
Okay.
So just like I showed you before, I'll show
Mm-hmm.
you mine again.
Mm-hmm.
It's, oops, come back here.
Sure.
There's mine.
There we
Now
are.
I can go into the chat mode. This is what everybody sees when they go to Claude AI.
Yep, yep,
They're
right.
just having a chat conversation with it.
Very good.
I can go into the co-work side. Now I can work in projects, I can
Ah.
work in files. Here's a file. This is a file that I allow myself to work in. So if I tell it to go in there, everything I want to do is going to go into
Oh
that file.
my. So it's all
And
organized.
we'll talk about setting that up here in a moment.
Okay.
Here's my
Sure.
voice. Okay, if I wanted to
Oh my
remember I talked
God.
about the voice. Yeah, I wanted to make sure that it's got my proper voice so that when I ask a question in here,
Oh, it
I'll get
speaks like
the
you or writes
response I'm
like you.
looking.
Yeah, wow.
And
So
then here's
that's
the
how you
code side of it, where
okay.
you can go in and start coding with it. Uh, here's the little bot down here in the corner.
Oh my
This
God, look at
this is the
him.
little this is the little robot that helps you do whatever you want to do
Oh my
in
God,
code.
that's so
So
cute.
I'm going to close this down and we'll get
Sure.
to where we get that on everybody's machine as well.
Very good. Well, that
So
gave
when should
people
you
a
use it?
chance. Mm-hmm.
When you have real work to do, not just questions to ask. That's the real
Mm,
key. Yeah,
mm-hmm.
we can all sit there and prompt and ask a question, but it is so much more powerful when you're asking the question inside Cowork and you're telling it to do things based on skills that you have given it,
Mm-hmm.
training that you have given it,
Mm-hmm.
instructions that you've given it, parameters that you've given it. You've given it a brain, you've given it your brain, you're training your AI, utilizing your content,
Right.
your history, everything there is to know about you and what you do and how you do it and why you do it and where you do it and why
All
you're
of it.
doing it for whatever. Yeah, you're training your machine so that it knows you, so that when you do ask it a question, it'll come back and say, David, yeah, we talked about that before when we were doing this or doing that. It's not a sterile conversation,
Not at all.
a one-off. It's got memory. It can go back and look at things and come back and really interact with you. So that's when you really know you've got something powerful.
Oh,
And
for
why does
sure.
this matter? Because the shifts from the chatbot to the cowork is the same shift that happens when businesses went from typewriters to computers.
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
you could put out the document with the typewriter, and I did a lot of that when I was a young
Me too.
person in college on
Me too.
my little I can't remember the electric
Oh,
typewriter.
Selectric? Did you have one of those?
Electric, yeah,
Selectric? Yeah,
in
yeah,
the
yeah.
case, but
I
at any rate,
I remember the first time I saw
now,
like a 5-inch like floppy disk and like it was such a shock
yeah.
to me that that would hold information. I couldn't believe that.
Well, the first time I bought a computer, I was agonizing whether I should get 10 megabytes or a 20 megabyte hard drive. You know,
Megabytes?
a a picture is 10 megabytes today, right?
It's
So
so funny. But a lot of
we've come,
so far, right? Yeah, because
yeah,
it's
we've come
like
so
some of
far.
these operating systems and things, they take up a lot of space. Like it isn't just the pictures, it's in a sense, the apparatus that exists to sort and all that of the pictures. Like it isn't just the content, it's
Yeah,
also the
all the
operating system that takes up space.
yeah, and the metadata and everything else.
Right.
And, you know, I have a terabyte. When I went and bought my new computer last year,
Awesome.
I got a 2 terabyte hard drive put in
I'm
it.
glad you
And
did.
I also have sitting behind my computer a couple of additional hard drives. One, a time machine that backs it up all the time.
Amazing.
Two, another hard drive that is my just I dump everything into it so I don't clog my computer down.
That's
But I also
amazing.
want my computer big enough so that if I want to put something on it, I can.
You
So
can.
that's why I did that.
Right.
But, and I also back everything up to the cloud as well. So I
Very
have
good.
multiple backups. I have
Very good.
cloud backup. I have a hard drive backup. I also have uh, another backup system that I use as well. It keeps all my files.
That's really
So
smart.
I have a lot of redundancy because I don't want to lose things. I've worked too hard
Totally.
to
Yeah,
put
because
them
those
all
are
on here.
hours or months or whatever of work, and you don't want to have to redo, like,
These are
oh
years
God,
of
yeah,
working.
years, right? And
Yeah,
time, and oh my God, like it just amazes me. Like when I just look at code, it's like, oh my gosh, like somebody had to create that, and it had to all
yeah,
work. So there's so many
yeah,
iterations to get to that line that works.
exactly. It's a lot of hard work, and you don't want to lose it.
No, oh my
So
goodness.
so how does it work? The five building blocks. You have the file system access, so it can read your files, it can write to your files, it can do whatever you want to give it permission to do. It can upload, download. So you're the one that's controlling it through the
Correct.
instructions you give it.
Right.
And you can ask it to ask you before it does anything so that you can maintain total control over it. So
Okay.
before it does something that you don't give it permission to do, it has to ask you. And then you say, okay, yes, you have permission. Then it'll go do it. Okay.
Really
And
smart.
then, with co-work, it's not just asking questions, it's utilizing the way you structure that question because it's taking content that you have given it those instructions and working from them so that it knows a whole lot more about what you're trying to do and why you're trying to do it. And so you're going to get back
So much
so much
better.
better content, better
Yeah.
output. And my favorite are skills. I just love building skills. I love working with skills. I I make I make a couple skills every day. Every time I see
Wow.
something that I think could be put into a skill, I build it.
Wow.
Um, because I want to be able to help people utilize more opportunities to get more things done utilizing really good, well put together skills.
Mm-hmm.
And some I charge people for, but a lot of them I will give away as free so that
Incredible.
they can go out and utilize them. And
Wow.
again, we'll talk a little bit more about that today. And
Sure.
then we talk about, giving your bot, giving your AI instructions about what it can do, how it can do it, and what it can't do.
Okay.
So again, that's very important, such as my voice DNA. It's a skill, but it is also very specific instructions about what it can say, how it can say banned words that
Right.
I never use those words. Don't
Right.
you ever use those words. And for example, today I grabbed something that I thought might be a really good skill. And I thought, what do you think about making this into a skill? And he said, yeah, David, this is great. However, the language they're using is so far from what you would say.
Wow.
We can't use it. We're going to have to use everything that you want. So
Oh my God.
it knows that, it knows how I'm going to talk. It knows what I'm going to say. So it went in there and then took my DNA, my voice
Oh my
DNA, and
God.
then just took the idea, the concept of what we were trying to build, and
Uh-huh.
it built it utilizing my instructions, my skill. And then, it turns out great. It
It's amazing.
goes through my audit, and now I know I have a what I call a deliverable skill,
Mm-hmm.
something that I am proud to own, something I'm proud to share, and something I don't worry about if I put out there for other people to use. I know it'll be good.
Wow. It just saves so much
And
time, though, doesn't it? So much
Oh,
time.
yeah, it does. It's incredible. And then connectors. Connectors are really important. So that we talked a little bit about that. It's connecting your Gmail,
Oh,
connecting
right.
your Google
Okay.
Drive,
Okay.
connecting Slack, connecting. There are literally hundreds and hundreds of connectors. So if you work with a specific app and you want to have access to it via an API connection or an MCP connection, you
Hmm.
can do that through the connectors, and that's what
Oh, that's what they do, I
that
guess, right? It's like they correlate things to things so they can kind of communicate. It's like a
it
bridge.
makes yeah, and makes it, that's what makes cowork so powerful. Because
Right.
now I can go talk to all these other things. I can talk to other machines. I can talk to other apps, and I can get a lot done.
Oh
So
my
that
God.
really works out good.
And that like opens
And
up a whole new
and
world, doesn't it?
yes, it does. And we'll talk a little bit more about that. And it allows you to build. You can start building much more complex uh, workflows, and you can start with a simple thing that says, "Go just check my Google Mail, and then report back to me based on these instructions."
Right.
And then pretty soon you can say, okay, but now I want you to write replies for that. So now you can set up more workflow with it. And then you can keep adding it and adding it more and more. Today we built a calendar so that it would go
Really?
out and take all of your content, all of your
Oh
information,
my
your
God.
voice. It would go read all that information. The skill would then bring it back, build a calendar,
Oh
and
my
then
God.
have that calendar in front of you with 100 days, 90 days of content that you could have post across LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, wherever it is you want to provide for your social accounts.
Wow.
And we built that today, and it worked out really well.
Oh
And
my
we
God.
were
And it
doing it
worked.
inside Claude Cowork. Exactly.
So
It's
co-work,
called.
is it like an extra, like is it, it's if you pay $20 a month, like that's what I pay, $20 a month. I'm not sure if that's called
Yes.
Claude Pro. So how much would it cost to get to pay for Claude Cowork? Is it instead of Claude Pro or would it be in addition to the $20 a
No,
month
no. You have to have the pro
account?
tier.
Right.
Yeah, you have to have the pro account. You
Okay,
can't
good.
work. You can't load it onto your machine unless you have it.
Okay,
So
good.
that is the one thing.
So that's the
Now,
first step, really.
yeah, it is the first step. You're going to have to go get your account in Claude, and then pay the $20 a month for the pro service,
Crazy
and
worth it.
then now you're going to be able to have access to load it on to your computer.
Okay.
However, if you're going to use it a lot, like I use it a lot, people that I work with and associate with, they use it a lot. So I have $100 a month plan.
And isn't it
So
worth
I'm
$100 for how much work you get out of it? It's so worth it.
ex exactly. And I don't have to pay Social Security benefits. I don't have to pay, you know,
It's amazing.
workman's compensation. I don't have to have them tell me that they're not coming into work today. I don't have to have all those things. And so,
It's such a nice
you
time to
know,
have discovered this because you have time to immerse yourself in it, Dave, and it's really exciting. Like you want to wake up in the morning and you probably have 5 ideas before you've even made your coffee. You're such an ideas man.
well, my wife and I went out to dinner yesterday.
Uh-huh.
We were celebrating our anniversary.
Well,
And
happy
we got
anniversary
home,
to
I
both of you.
think
Hmm.
around 4:30 in the afternoon.
Hmm.
And I went straight into my office and I started working. Before I knew it, it was 9:30 at night.
It
And
probably
I
doesn't
had been
feel
working that whole time. And
fun.
I knew what I wanted to do. And I got it all set up and it was working really well. And I really liked what it was. And then I asked a critical question. I asked Lovable, what could we do to the app to make it more user friendly and enhance its capabilities for the user? and it came back with a 4-phase plan and
Wow.
18 different things to do. And it
My
said, David,
God.
which one would you like me to do? I says, I
What?
want to do them all
So they were
because I
all good
liked every,
suggestions?
yeah, they were all great suggestions.
Oh my
And
goodness.
so I said, let's do all of them one at a time. So we sat
Wow.
here and did each one of them one at a time last night. So at 9:30 when I quit,
Yeah.
I was off my computer because it was going through some stuff and I knew it was going to take a while and I was getting tired.
Yeah.
So I went upstairs and I started watching TV, but
Hmm.
I had my phone with me. So I accessed Claude or I accessed Lovable via my phone
Oh my
and I
God.
continued going through all of the 18 suggestions
Oh my
and got
goodness.
got the app fully configured.
In one
Now
evening.
this, yeah, now this was like now 10:30 at night. Now I'm actually in bed, pillows fluffed up,
But your
watching
phone's with
TV.
you, probably,
But
your
I'm
phone.
I'm co I'm coding with vibe coding with Lovable,
Oh my God.
on my phone. So crazy, crazy.
Incredible. It's amazing that
So
you can like go be comfortable, right? You can get a hot
yeah,
chocolate and get a blankie and go cuddle up somewhere. And you don't have to be at your computer because I get tired of being at the computer. Like I have to be in front of it 8 hours. So I don't want to
yeah,
spend my whole evening in front of the computer. So I kind of take my laptop to my bed and then I just kind of put some pillows and I have a
yeah.
blankie and then I'm super comfortable. But I don't feel like I'm working because I'm not at the computer. So I love having a
Well,
laptop.
I love doing what I'm doing, so it doesn't feel like work. I'm
No,
excited about doing it, and a couple
exactly.
of times I did break away and got a drink, and I told my wife, I said, I just went down a giant rabbit hole. That's that's why I've been in my office for 4.5 hours.
But you know what? I think it's so sweet of her to understand the passion and the excitement and just the fulfillment of a dream that you get to do every few days. Like you have an idea on a Tuesday and you can have it working and like deliverable on a Wednesday. Like it's insane
Yeah,
how
yeah,
efficient
it
you
is
are.
insane, and I'm really excited about this one because I know there's a need for it now. I don't
There
know how
really
many
is.
it'll sell,
People don't
but
even know what it can do. Like I didn't know that you can point to like a PDF that you showed and that somehow the agent could understand. Like I don't have to copy and
no,
paste every page of that PDF. Like
yeah,
what? I've had to do that. Like
yeah,
2 weeks ago I had to do that.
yeah.
It was
It's
like
it's
10 hours,
amazing.
you know?
Okay, so
So,
let's load this on our computer.
okay, sure thing.
So what everybody's going to have to do is go to claude.ai/download.
Okay.
Okay, and that's it. So I mean, it's real easy to get to.
Right.
Um, there it is right there.
Okay, very good. That's what it looks like.
And it already knows that I have a Mac, so it's
Yeah.
front and center. If you're on a Windows, it'll probably have a Windows here.
Okay.
And so you can download for a Mac or for a Windows or for an ARM64
Okay, mine looks
enterprise
just like
solution.
yours. That's perfect. Okay, great. So then once you've downloaded it, it's on your desktop and it would come up as kind of like one of those little icons on your computer. I hope you
Come
can hear.
up, it, it'll come up so that all you do is pull it over and install the app, and there it is, right?
Okay.
And now it's on your computer. That's
So,
it. That's all
and
you
that,
have to do. I mean, it's literally that simple.
okay, awesome. So,
I,
okay,
I don't
great.
I don't want to do it because I've already got
No,
it on my computer.
no, yeah, definitely.
So
You can kind of go from here because like you've gotten people to where they could get their account and then then we
yeah,
can continue
I
from
mean,
there
I can
because,
click on here and you just saw it's now, if you look at the download, it's downloading it right now. Now I'm not going
oh,
to upload.
yeah,
I
no,
won't
definitely not.
install it, but
No.
I'll show you when it's done.
Okay.
I'll open it up.
So how do you, and then can you show
There it
like
is.
how you
There it
drag it?
is.
Like
So
where
if
do
I
you drag
click,
it to?
Oh, I just clicked on it. See, that's all I did was click on it, and there it is. All I got to do now is drag this to
To there.
this.
So don't do it. But yeah, that's super easy.
Yeah, and now it's on my computer.
Okay. And
And then
applications
of
is where,
course, on
go
a
ahead.
Mac, it's not going to show up in your dashboard right away. So you would go to Finder, go to Applications, and then go get it, click on it, and then you're up
And
and
then you'd
running.
have it. Okay, good. So we can go from here. That's great.
Yeah, so that's easy.
That's a good
Now,
illustration.
once we have it up and running,
Mm-hmm.
now let's actually go into Claude.
Okay.
So, ta-da, here it is.
It's
So now
nice.
it's
What's
sitting
up
on your
next,
dash.
David?
You'll see this. I have it sitting in my little bar on the bottom of
Okay.
my computer, and it
Yes.
looks like this. You see this little
That
thing
little kind
right
of,
here?
yeah, star kind of
Yeah,
thing. Yeah.
and you just click on it, and away you go. So
Okay.
I can show you. I'll click. I'll
Is
show it.
your
There
is
it
your
is,
oh
right
there it is. Yeah,
there. It
because
is
it was
right
hidden.
there.
There it is. Okay, good. So people know what it
So
looks
you
like in
just
the
click on
toolbar.
it, and bam, it brings it up.
Okay,
So
good.
now you got three places that you can go inside Claude on your desktop. The normal chat, you can just have normal conversations with it based on whatever it is you want to do. So
Just like that. Yeah, perfect.
just a simple little, I'm just having a chat with Claude. So it's going to go look up the weather in Cashiers, North Carolina, and there it
Oh my
is.
gosh. What is the weather in North Carolina? 70 today.
70 degrees. It
Wow.
was a 65% chance of rain, but it didn't happen.
That's
But this is just a
amazing.
normal chat. And, once it's done and over with, that's it, right? One exchange. Now I could keep going into the chat so
Right.
that I could keep coming, continuing the chat,
Right.
but I'm not going to be working in it for very long. And if I get it too long, it's going to say, hey, you're running out of memory, and
Okay.
it's going to start causing all sorts of problems where it can't,
It
it's
it yeah,
constantly
it's
trying to compress the file so it can keep talking to you. And so I don't use chat very much. You can see I got a few things over here, but
hmm
I'm in cowork a lot. This is where I do most of my work.
So
And
co-work
this
is
is the one I was doing today,
all right.
or the last 2 days. This is the chat I've had with it for the last 2 days,
Wow.
building the app.
Oh my
So
goodness. And
this,
there's like code and everything. That's amazing.
yeah, there is code in here.
So,
You
can I
you
ask you a
see the
question?
code
This is something that it's such an easy question for you, but I truly don't know. So, at the end of that chat, right? If you wanted to copy that whole chat, do you go to the end where that little Claude, the little icon is, or do you go to the
right
beginning of
there.
the chat? Yeah. So, how do you
Well,
copy that whole chat?
well, I would just go here and start going up,
Ah, that's what I do.
and that's what I
Yeah,
would do,
that's what
because
I
it's
do.
not going to copy. If you hit this, it's not going to copy the whole thing.
No, it's just going to
It doesn't.
copy the most recent thing.
Yeah, exactly.
All right.
So that's how you could do it. Or what you could do is tell Claude, "Hey, give me a summary of everything that we did in this conversation. I
Okay.
want to store it somewhere, and then I could have it stored so that I could have access
Oh,
to that
that's
conversation.
amazing. I wish
And
I
then if
thought
I
of
ever
that.
wanted to open it back up, I could just tell Claude go find it,
That's
and
amazing.
he's ready to go. So
Okay,
now we're
good.
in co-work.
Now we're
Now
in
let's go
co-work.
to where the real work gets done. So
Okay.
you'll see some things over here on the side,
Okay.
and the one you want to click on is customize.
Okay.
So once you're in customize, we're going to talk today about skills. And I'm going to give people access to a skill that they
Okay.
can actually put into their cowork. So now that you've got your cowork open, you
Yes.
can now put a skill in. So
Okay.
here you can see here are the skills that I have put on the side
That's a
over here.
lot. And that so Claude has access to all of those skills.
Yeah. And so if I wanted to have a conversation, if I wanted to, let's say, here's the one that I did that I said, it's my large language model console. It's that
I
board
love
of
that.
directors that look at. So if I want to use that skill, here's what I
Uh-huh.
do. I go back and I go into cowork, and then I
Co-work.
just go down here and I
Uh-huh.
just put a forward slash. And when I put that forward slash, it pops up all my skills. And there's
Wow.
the skill right there.
The council.
Now, there it is. So now
Oh my
all I got to
God.
do is give it a piece of content.
Okay.
So if I give it a piece of content,
Like,
let me
think
go
about
find
something that you actually
something.
want the council to comment on if you want. Just something that you actually would like to, what would help you. I love that. I
Well,
can't believe how
I'm gonna
easy that is.
I I want to build an app
Mm-hmm.
that would allow. Now let's see. No, that's a simple little silly thing, but let's see what
Let's
it
see.
does for us.
So this is Claude
I
Cowork.
want to. This is Cloud Cowork, and I'm using a skill. So it's going in and reading that skill. It knows that it knows what I'm asking it to do for it to
Okay.
go and read that skill so that it can go in and do something with it. Now, here's a mistake that I made. I was still in the lovable base comparison thing that I was working on. So see how it's compacting this? Because
Oh,
my conversation it was really, really long that
yes.
I've had. It shouldn't be doing this. I should not have done this here. I
Okay,
should have
that's all right.
started a new task.
Sure,
I
that's all
screwed
right.
up,
No, but
you know,
you were just trying to illustrate like, here, let's look at this. So that's perfectly all right. It's
but
perfectly all right.
this is a good uh, a
It's a good
good mistake
example.
to I have made
Yeah, it's
because when
always
you
good.
want to talk to your AI, you don't want to carry on multiple conversations inside one chat. You want to go each new thing that you want to be talking about, new
It's like a
project, new
separate.
whatever, you want to
Uh,
start with a new task. So you would come
yes.
up here and start a new task.
Okay.
So I really screwed up, but
No,
that's a
but that
good
was a great
example
example. It's funny how, like,
of
that's how it ends up happening. Like, we're learning from the mistake even more, like, sometimes than doing something
yeah,
right.
exactly.
Because then you're like, oh no, I'm not breaking anything. It's okay. Dave was continuing to work. So I didn't break anything. I just chose a skill that is going off like a really big file. And so,
Yes.
right? And because I was
So,
going to
but
say, like,
what I can do is I can
yeah,
copy that and then go, okay, new task. I screwed up. I want to
no, you're
put this in
totally
my
fine.
workspace.
Of
So I know
course.
that's where I want to play with it. So
Good. For
I'll
later.
do
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. So that's how easy it is to call up the council,
Oh,
though. That's incredibly
yeah.
easy.
It didn't recognize it because I didn't call it up with the dash. So let
Sure.
me call it up with, so I need to go find it again.
Of course. Yeah,
So there we
this
go.
is why you're so patient.
Now it knows what it's looking for.
That's great.
All
That's
right,
great.
David, I'm working on it. Now, here's the thing, right? You'll, I'm using Opus 4.6 right now, which
Wow.
is, it's a much more heavier thinker. Good question for the console, David, but it needs a bit
That
more
is a good
specific.
question for the council. Oh my God. The council must love you. They're like, oh, here he is
So,
again. Here he is again on a Tuesday thinking of how to solve 10 problems that the world is having for
so look
zero
at
cost.
this. The idea has a real potential, but the console needs a sharper question. Something like, is it
Ah,
viable to build a consumer app that lets people send personalized meaning? Yeah, use that sharper version. Okay. Uh,
wow.
business, both will
So you
do.
just click
How
on
much
which
do
one
you
you're
want to see?
choosing.
I want to see a full. So
Wow.
boom, there. So now this is going to take some time. It's
Because it's
it's
complex.
it's doing a lot of work in the background, and it's going
Right.
to take some time going through everything that it's doing. And you can see
This
over
is
here on the
amazing.
right
Uh-huh.
that it's working it's got that skill. That's the context it's using to do
Oh,
the work, right?
yes. It's a
It's using the
context.
instructions that I built inside that skill to do this work over here. And it's doing it inside this folder that I told it I wanted to work in.
Okay, perfect. So it's organized inside of those, like, it's you can
Yeah, so I can
access it after.
yeah, and I can find it easier. I know that it's going to save the work to that folder.
Because you know what? The
So
other day,
here,
I was
so
like
here's,
asking, like, and I didn't realize to put it in a project because I was just in Claude. And so this is kind of cool because if you write off, know that inside of a project, you can have entire conversations and then it's saved inside
yeah,
that project. It's better than just going in and asking a question, how's the weather? Because it's going to be gone. The next day you ask the weather, yesterday's answer is going to be gone, right? So I like the
yeah.
way that you keep everything exactly where you're going to know to look for it, and it's just so organized. Like even for thinking, you're
Well,
like, I
you
want
want to
this
give it,
aspect or
yeah, you want to give it a brain. You want to give it memory. You want to be able to continue a conversation, a
right,
project, or whatever it is you're working on
right,
without having to start over and over and over all the time.
exactly.
You can see the progress it's making. It's going
Wow,
through each one of these steps and checking them off. And then eventually, council member one, the financial skeptic, council member number two, the customer advocate, council
wow.
number three, the system architect,
Oh my
um,
God.
council member number four, the executive realist, council
Wow.
number five, the growth strategist. And then
This is
here's the peer
amazing.
review of all of them, that what they're looking at,
Oh
and
my
they're telling me
God.
what works and what doesn't. And then the consensus is telling me what's going on. Here are key disagreements.
God. Incredible.
Here it's talking about giving me the integration of how this would really work, because I asked it to give me the full Monty, right? I asked for
Yes,
everything.
the full
And so
analysis.
it's doing, yeah. So
Yeah.
it's going through this whole thing for me. So it's really doing a deep dive on that simple little tiny question that I asked. Can I reach out and touch somebody? The old,
This is
and
amazing.
it keeps on working, and it's it
Oh
keeps
my
going back and forth,
God.
and eventually it's going to go through all of these, and then the output will be the chairman that'll come
Right.
back and say, David, yes, this is what I think we should do. This is,
Oh my
here it's telling me what I
goodness.
need to do if I want to do this, and where I would put it and how much
Yeah,
I would charge
here's
for it.
what's involved.
I mean, this is a lot of detail
It
from
real
that simple little
Jeez.
question. And this is all because I built the skill so that it goes in and it does all this stuff. It
Incredible.
knows that it needs to keep going. What happened? Switch to Cloud Code and let no, I'm not going to do that.
Right.
Um,
For our purposes,
because
we don't need to do that because
yeah,
we're
I don't want it to
illustrating.
actually build. This
Yeah,
thing would start building, and I don't want
it
it to
will.
actually build it.
It'll take over.
So I'm gonna say, okay, stop.
That's amazing.
So
It's a really clear example. And that's just one skill.
we're
And
gonna
you,
leave this go through its thing, but I'm
okay.
not gonna let it build the skill.
Okay.
So that is utilizing a skill to get a very specific output.
Wow.
And that skill just shows you how powerful utilizing the skill with Claude and what you can do. Now, if I go back into the customize and I go to the connectors, you can see over here, I have a CRM
CRM.
connected. I have my Gmail connected, my Google
Okay.
Calendar, and my Google Drive. Um,
Wow.
I also have another custom one that I've connected through the MCP. So this allows me to go and I can build a skill that could go out and check my calendar, check my
Wow.
Google Drive, check my Gmail, do whatever it is I want.
My
And
God.
here's how you get to a skill. You just browse them, and here they are. If I want to put Canva in
Oh,
there, I have not done that, but I would just
isn't
say,
that
okay,
amazing?
I would have to sign into Canva.
Right.
So
So it's integrated, right?
yeah.
Yeah, this is so efficient, Dave. And you're completely in control of
Well,
everything. I like that you're completely in control of everything.
So I can continue here, and
Incredible.
let me go up here. Oh no, what you doing?
And
I'm gonna have to go get it over here.
yeah, that's fine too. You know, that's it's just amazing that it's integrated.
So,
Because you know what, Dave? Like one thing I really want to do is like organize like pictures. So, is there a skill that you could have
oh,
it like access
sure.
your photos and then it could sort of like put them in different like say family or school
Yeah,
friends or you know different kinds of categories? Can it do things like that?
absolutely.
That would be such
If
a
not, we
useful
could
skill.
build one.
Yeah, exactly. I'm just
All right.
thinking that would be really useful because a lot of people like they'll have like thousands of pictures on their phones and they want to keep them because they don't want to get rid of them.
Yeah,
But wouldn't
yeah.
it be amazing to kind of like have them, you know, organized in the fashion that you need to
Organized in a
have them
very real way.
and then keep them in accessible in the
Yeah.
cloud or something because it does take up a lot
There
of
are
space on your
apps.
phone.
There are apps you can buy that'll do that for you as well. But we could certainly train.
We could
Um,
train,
we could train a skill to do that very easily.
right, right,
So here I am
exactly.
in Canva, and you can
Okay.
see how I can interact with everything right
Oh
here.
my
So if I
goodness.
wanted to build something in Canva, I could, you know, do whatever it is I want to do here.
Wow.
And and now I'm connected, literally Cowork is connected to Canva,
Oh my
and
God.
I could be talking inside uh Cowork and tell it, hey, I want to build this for Canva, and then it could go and do it all for me.
Oh
You
my
know,
God.
it could access my things that I already have in Canva and bring them into Cowork, and then I could work with them
Oh,
inside Cowork.
I see. So that they're
So
already, yeah, it's easy to access things and you can bring them in and then
yeah.
then you can create things in Claude. Like you could create like a website, I guess, if
Oh,
that was
absolutely.
possible.
Absolutely. So
You know,
here's, everything. I mean, you can imagine you could just, if you work with a particular type of app, and you want to use it, you
right.
could certainly click it, put it here, and now you can have Cowork and the app talking to one another so
Imagine
that you can
Slack,
get a
like,
lot done.
you
And
know,
that's the
because
power. So you give permission for Cowork to go in and do whatever it is you want it to do inside these apps, these
incredible.
connectors that you've got.
So you could really
So
run a
let me,
business like with you can have Stripe, you can have like all kinds of things integrated,
oh, yes,
right?
absolutely. So let me show you now that I'm going to close this down for a second,
Okay.
and I'm going to show you my skills wall. Okay, so this is where I house all my skills.
That's amazing. Oh, can
So
you give
you
us
could,
the URL for, like can you give us the website that people could come to the
yeah,
store?
right up here, agentskillsvault.com.
Okay. It's agent and then skills. Is it
So
with a Z or is an S? T S K
AGENTSKILLS vault,
V A U L T dot
VAULT.com.
com. Very good.
Let me,
That's great.
I could even copy and put that. Can I put it in the chat? Oh,
Yeah.
I lost I don't know where the
Uh,
chat is.
yeah, because it's
But
different.
at
It's
any,
different because of the system. Yeah, yeah, yeah. To be on like the TV
so
station.
they can come here and
Hmm.
you can see some of them are free. So here's a really good one. If anybody has a website or they have a business and they have a Google business profile,
Hmm.
you can come in here and copy this. Now I'm logged in because I'm the admin
Because
that
you're the
knows me.
admin. Yeah.
But if you go here, you'll have to sign in. And then when you sign in, you then have access to everything. If you want, you can buy one. If not, you can download a free one. So just click on free.
Okay.
Just click the download.
Okay. That's so useful.
Did it,
Yeah, that's amazing because you can actually give other people insights about
what
how their
happened?
business is doing.
What's in,
Maybe it's
okay,
because it's
there it
your
goes.
computer. Oh,
Okay,
there it is. Yeah.
so here it is right here.
Uh-huh.
This is it. I'm just going to put that on my computer for a minute.
So that's a
So
skill, right? Yeah, that's a skill, right? Yeah,
that's a skill.
that's a
I've just
skill.
downloaded it right here. So
Okay.
now let's go back to Claude,
All right.
and I'm going to go back into skills. And I don't think I have this skill in here. I don't. Okay, so I'm going to click this little plus sign.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to create a skill, and I'm going to do what's called upload a skill. So
Wow.
I can drag that in. Here's where I saved it.
Ah, yes.
I just
There it
drag it
is.
in right there,
Oh my God.
and bam, there it is. There's my Google business. So
Unbelievable.
everything that this skill will do for you is right here.
Okay.
So now I go back to chat. I want to start a new task. I
Okay.
want to / Google Business Profile.
Mm-hmm.
So there it is right there. So I'm telling it I want to do that. And now I'm going to tell,
Profile. Okay.
I'm just going to go grab one.
Okay.
Let me go,
Yeah, no
let me
problem.
go grab some.
So that's how
Uh,
you do it. You put in the skill is there, it turns blue, and then you tell it what you want to know. It's using the skill as context, and you're putting in like say a
yep.
business name, and then
Yeah. So I'm just, well, I got rotor rooter.
yeah, that's fine. That's
So
fine. It'll come up with
let,
information.
let, let's see what happens. That's a crazy look at that link. So now
Oh
it's going
my
to go and
God.
it's going to use that skill. It's going to pull all the information from that website.
My
That's,
goodness.
that's a
This is
terrible, probably
incredible. It's just
website to use.
I have no idea how you
Uh,
create these. That's
um,
incredible. It's so useful. So you need co-work to sort of like do this work because it's not just a you can't do that with a
well,
chat. You need it
you
needs to
could,
actually
you
yeah?
could take the skill.
Uh-huh.
You could take the skill that I give you and you could download the skill and you could then upload it to ChatGPT and say, okay, use this skill and all of the instructions inside to do this task. And then you could ask it to do it. You could do that.
Okay.
But that skill wouldn't live there. Again, it would be a one-time off thing
Yes.
and it
And it's not
wouldn't
going to
be where you
remember.
wanted it to be. It's not like I can come in here and I could use this optimizer and run work and work off files. um, so it's asking me some questions here.
Incredible.
Um, and let me see. We'll
Uh
do this.
there.
We'll do an audit.
Okay.
So it's going to do its thing. So it took that skill and it knows what to do with that skill. It asked me a couple questions.
My
Now it's
God.
going to go out and eventually what it should do is come back with a plan that tells me everything I need to do to fix my
Incredible.
Google business profile and make it as optimized as I can.
Wow.
Now, using Rotor Rooter that has, sites all over the United States is
Yeah.
a terrible website. That's not good.
But you know
You
what?
want
This
to,
works beautifully.
but fine, it's giving me information. It's doing its thing.
Incredible.
So, anybody that's watching the program can go to the Agent Skills Vault,
Mm-hmm.
grab a free skill, come back here. I'll show them again how to do that. You go back
Excellent.
into Customize,
Okay.
you go back into Skills, you
Okay.
go into the plus, you want to upload the skill.
Yep.
If you download one of my skills, it's all packaged into a zip file. You just put that in there and away you go. If
Okay.
you want, if somebody gives you a skill as a markdown file, you just want to copy and paste the markdown, you could then come in here and you could name the skill, put the description, put the instructions in, and then it will create the skill for you that way.
Oh my
Um,
goodness.
I I don't like doing that because I don't like I don't ever put a skill into uh, my work
No.
that hasn't gone through my skill audit.
Right, because
So
there could be problems. You don't really know for sure if it's clean or not. Like,
you see the intake gate,
wow.
intake behavior, the workflow, all these things are there because I've put them in.
Right.
So hard
Hard
constraints, what it can
constraints.
and can't do,
Wow.
um, the strong versus the
Versus
weak
weak
example. That's
example.
one of the 23 things that it has to go through in order to go through my to
Your
become
protocol
one
kind
of
of.
my skill.
Yeah.
I wouldn't put that skill out until it did that. And so it's showing you that it has, you can see it's pretty in depth.
Very in depth. Yeah. Claude
So
Opus is incredible at 4.6 is the
so
best,
let's go
really.
see what it's doing here. Once I know which specific franchise this is, I'll run the full score. So see, that's why I said it was a terrible example because it doesn't know what there's 100 or 1,000 Roto-Rooter franchises out there.
Wow.
So that was not a good example to use. But
That's
again, it
incredible.
shows you
It does.
doing something that's not right shows you, hey, I
You
can't
could,
really work with this.
right.
So I would
So
have
you
to
just
do it
iterate
for a
it.
single business. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I would do it
It's
for a
no
single
problem.
business.
It's really great
So
though, because if people can see that they can't really break it. Like you could put in a business that's not even, I don't know, published a website yet, and that's okay because it'll just tell you, oh, all right, this one has not been, put online, or like you're not breaking it. You're just
yeah,
asking for information, right?
no, I'm just showing the process here of what we do and how
Exactly.
we
It's a
do
good
it.
example. Yeah.
So, now you can go into cowork, you can come up here, start a new task,
Right.
and decide let me show you how to do this first.
Sure.
That isn't important.
What does that
So
say?
you want to be able to tell this is what you want to do. Let me go show you my. I
Can you
need to
read
open
that? It's a
this.
little small for me. Can you read that? Is it
What
work in
what am I trying to
progress? Is
read?
that what it is? Does it say work in
Oh,
progress?
I'm bringing this in because I want to show you.
All right.
Here's my AI workspace.
Wow.
Um, so when you come inside the AI workspace, you're going to see a whole bunch. These are things that I've been playing around with, but when I'm working within Claude or Claude Code or Claude Cowork, I'm doing
Wow.
different things. And so
You're
here's
so
when I'm
organized.
building
I love it.
skills. So
Uh-huh.
here's all the skills that I'm building.
My
So there's the one
God.
for the Google Business Optimizer, the one
Yes.
that
That's
I
such a good
just built
one.
right there. So here's the one that I built for the
Oh my
LLM console.
God.
And so it knows where I'm telling it to go work. So that's
Right.
really, really important. So you need to organize yourself. So
Yes.
you could put co-work or you could put Claude or whatever you want to call it. I
Uh-huh.
just called it AI workspace and I knew that okay, it's up here at the top. I'm
Okay.
always going to be able to find it really quick. And
Okay.
then you build down what it is you want and tell it where you want it to work. So it knows that when I come in here,
It's a good thing you have 2 terabytes.
it can look and I can find where I want to be, and then I can tell it where to go. So I could do skills. I could tell it to work in skills if I wanted. So with a new
Ah.
task, I can do that. Now I'm on skills. So if I wanted to build a skill, I
Mm-hmm.
could come in here and build a skill.
Okay.
And then I would be working inside skills. So it has a specific output that
Okay.
it does for me. It builds a Johnson file, it builds a markdown file, it builds a guide, It builds a zip file. It
Wow.
builds a number of things for me so that I can use them, and I'll show you why.
Right.
So when I build a skill and I want to upload the skill here, I
Yes.
go into my admin side, and then I go into skills, and then I say add a skill, and then I just drop my zip file here. I drop
Wow.
my Johnson file here,
Hmm.
and away it goes, and it populates everything, and it's done.
So efficient. My God, it's just so efficient.
So it happens very quickly.
Right. But you've thought all those things
So
out and built it in so that it does all of those things at the same time.
yeah, because I didn't want to do a whole lot of manual stuff.
No,
I want to automate things. I want to make it as
exactly.
easy as possible.
As you think of
So,
skills
you know,
every
I,
day.
I don't want to have to put all this stuff in. You know, I
No.
don't want to have to write any of this stuff in there. So I have it create a file, a JSON file for me, and then I just drag that JSON file over here and it populates all that. And then when I drag
Unbelievable.
the zip file here,
Yep.
now the zip file is in and it's done. The only thing I'll come in is make sure the category is right, and then I may change the emoji or something, and then I'll decide if I want to give it away free or charge
Right.
or
Set
whatever,
your
and then
price. Yeah,
create the skill and it's done.
exactly.
So I can upload a skill to my store in less than a minute.
Wow.
It's pretty easy. So
Yeah, I
that's
use
the fun stuff. That's using Claude Cowork, automating stuff, you know, building
incredible.
things so that you can use skills so that you can really get work done. And it becomes a very, very powerful AI assistant that it just opens up a whole new world of automation and creativity and
So like
getting
it's
things done.
right. So it's already built, right? You're giving it
Oh yeah,
instructions. You're training it
you don't
like an
have
employee.
you have to train it. You can let me
Like you
open it
trained it
back
on your
up.
voice and everything, which is really smart. But I'm just saying, like, you
Yeah.
don't have to code like this new operator and like it's already exists. You just give it guidance and then you can give it guardrails and you can say, this is what I'd like to create. And then it can actually brainstorm with you,
You,
right?
yeah, you see this right here? The voice
Okay.
DNA fingerprint. So
Oh,
this is my skill for that.
wow.
So
With the 100 questions, is that the one where it gets to know your
yeah,
voice?
it's the 100 questions that I answered, but it also goes and it goes and reads a whole bunch of other stuff as well.
Wow.
So
Just amazing.
you
Like
know,
you've just done
so
so much work.
I answered the 100 questions and then I built the skill from it. And then I put the skill inside here. And here's the reference materials and the scripts and things it has
Wow.
inside of it. So it's a very powerful tool.
It
Here's a
really is.
scheduler. This is a cron scheduler. So
Okay.
it'll schedule something to happen consistently every week, every day,
Right.
whenever you want it to happen.
Because
Um,
I have my like my agent Julian. I have him like look through Gmails, and then I'll label some things I want him to see. I'll label it Julian, and then he goes at 9 o'clock. He goes and like retrieves all of those things, and then he files them in his filing system. And his filing system is as good as yours. Like yours is just breathtaking.
yeah,
It really is
well, I had Claude help me build my filing system so that I could
unbelievable.
use it.
It's just
You
unbelievable.
know.
So
So now let me show you my.
we have about like 10 maybe up to 10
Okay,
minutes
then
so
let
we
me
can
show you
and we
real
can of
quick.
course continue like we have time to continue another day no problem but
I'll
this is
show you
really
my
good.
little project
Tile a
that I built.
bathroom.
So let
Oh
me
my god.
let me sign out. I'll get back
Sure.
to. So here's the home screen. But if you were to go to just the app itself, not the login,
What is this website?
this is called homekeeperplus.com.
Okay.
So this all started because I wanted to be able to manage the maintenance program for my homes. When to clean the HVAC
Yeah, like the
filter, you
furnace
know, when
filter.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the furnace filter, whatever it is you want to do. So it does a little interview in the beginning. I'll show you here in a minute. And then it asks you some questions, you answer them, and then it builds the whole plan for you. And then when the plan is all built out, it's all inside. So
Wow.
uh, Lovable built this page for me.
It's
I
really
told it
beautiful.
what I wanted, and
Wow.
it built all this for me.
Oh my
And then you
God.
you can come in. You're welcome to come in and
Anybody could
sign in
come in
because
and then they can
you can
buy
start
one
a
of the
free
levels.
trial.
Oh, that's
So
awesome.
you just start a free trial.
Get some information.
So it'll ask you for
Incredible.
this. You
Sure.
fill that out and it'll let you in. And so I'm going to just sign in on my own.
That's incredible. Yeah, you must have a lot of like websites and landing pages and things because well, you've had like 20 years of marketing experience. So you're really good at creating things that work that people are actually looking for.
So here we are inside. And this is just a little quick getting started. So these are tasks that I would need to do.
Okay.
Right now, I am in my chipmunk house. Over here, I can change it to my other house,
That's so
or I can
funny.
change it to a demo.
That's
I can,
amazing.
I can
And even
shut
the
this down. Let
weather.
me shut. Yeah, it gives you the weather, and that's important
That's so smart
because
because you
if
don't
the
want to
weather
do painting and stuff
is,
if it's raining
well,
for
if
a
the
week.
weather's really bad, it'll warm you. It'll give you, you can come over here and have a home checklist for winterizing your home, spring opening,
Oh,
pre-hurricane prep, new home first 30 days,
wow.
pre-listing prep, rental turnover. And I'll be adding to these, but
Wow.
the goal here is, hey, if you got to winterize your home because you only live it's a rent, it's
Like
a
a
vacation
seasonal.
home, you only live in
Yeah.
it half
Hmm.
year, and it's in Michigan, you know, it gets very cold up there in the winter. So it
Incredible.
just walks you through everything you have to do. And when you get it done, it'll give you a progress bar of what's being done.
That's
And
incredible.
so if you come back over here, these are the notifications that it'll give you. And you set them up, but I'm all caught up. So, but it'll tell you if you have an overdue task, expiring warranties or weather warnings for your area, that
Wow.
sort of thing.
Okay.
There,
That's amazing.
here's
So what
here's
we'll
your
do,
tasks.
okay, that's great. What we'll do is we'll,
So these are the things you have to do in order
incredible.
to, so
In what
this
order
is
and
6 days overdue. So, and I haven't done it
you're not
yet.
overdue on anything. You're so
So,
organized, Dave.
so this,
That's
so,
amazing.
so if I need to know how to do this, I click on this little button here and it'll take me and tell me
Oh,
how to
that's
do it.
wonderful.
And it tells me the filter that I need to
You've
change it
thought of
with.
everything. That's incredible.
And
So what
and
we'll do
that's
is,
based on, you know, the I have told it the type of asset that I have, the type of
exactly.
heater
So
or
it
the
knows.
appliance or whatever it is. And this little
So
task
smart.
library, this is pretty cool. So
Oh my
this will
God.
tell you how to do certain things. So you can, oh, it's already Oh, I added it. Let me
Wow.
click on it. So this gives you the instructions for how to caulk windows and doors,
Oh my God. Look at that. Because a lot of
the
people
tools you
want to
need,
see
the
if they can try
materials,
things
and
themselves. Yeah. So what we'll do is we'll continue then. If we can have another. Well, I mean, we're gonna have to do a series because there's so much information to share, right? And it's really useful.
yeah,
But
there's
my
so much
gosh,
to do, right?
there. Well, and you're just like you're so prolific with your ideas and like it's just incredible. I've never met anyone like who just absolutely. I'm just in amazement with your brain. I'm like amazed. But you know what?
Well,
I'm
it's
so
it's
glad we
just
had some time, and but we'll come back again, And
Okay.
but my God, Dave, I hope you've enjoyed presenting a little bit. But this is just the
Yeah, it was
beginning.
fun. It was great. I hope I
Thank you
hope I
so
hope the
much.
audience got a little bit out of it.
I think so. I think
Got a little bit
they're gonna
out
want
of
like
it.
this is just the beginning. They're gonna want like,
Oh yeah,
a
we have so much
series.
more we can
We have
share.
so much, yeah. But you're an
Absolutely.
amazing teacher. You're very patient. And you explain things really well, and I love that we can see things on screen. So thank you for sharing your computer with us, and especially
You're
your
welcome.
expertise. Yeah, truly. So we'll talk again, okay, Dave? And
All right.
I'll put my little music on, but we'll
All right.
continue. Thank you so much, and have a great
You're
evening.
welcome. Have a
Thank
great day.
you. Thank you.
And I'll stop sharing.
That went really well.
Hang on, I need to talk to my wife for a second. She was